Keir Starmer's first 100 days as Prime Minister have been marked by controversy, internal strife, and scandals that threaten to undermine his leadership just months after his landslide victory in the 2024 general election. Describing his early days in power as choppy, Starmer openly admitted that leading the country has been more challenging than he expected. However, despite the mounting difficulties, he remains adamant that his government has delivered on its early promises. Yet the reality is far more complex, with his leadership style, decision-making, and personal conduct all coming under intense scrutiny. Starmer's initial achievements included settling pay disputes in the health sector and what he dubbed the biggest shake-up of workers' rights in a generation. However, these successes have been overshadowed by a series of scandals and missteps that have left many questioning his ability to lead. His government has been rocked by staff conflicts, ethics concerns, and controversial policy decisions that have dominated headlines. One of the most glaring issues has been the controversy surrounding Starmer's acceptance of more than £100,000 in gifts and hospitality. The Prime Minister was forced to repay thousands of pounds after a prolonged public outcry, with critics accusing him of hypocrisy. The scandal over freebies, lavish hospitality from football clubs and corporate donors, came at a time when his government faced backlash over public spending cuts, including the deeply unpopular decision to axe winter fuel payments for pensioners. These cuts, combined with the optics of Starmer accepting luxury gifts, have only fueled accusations that Labour is out of touch with the very voters it claims to represent. Adding to the sense of chaos, Starmer's senior team has been plagued by infighting. The resignation of his former Chief of Staff, Sue Gray, after weeks of internal conflict, sent shockwaves through the party. Gray, a key figure in Starmer's transition to power, stepped down amid reports of intense rows within the Prime Minister's inner circle, leaving many to wonder if Starmer's leadership is too brittle to withstand the pressures of government. Reflecting on his first 100 days, Starmer told the BBC's newscast that while the job had been tougher than anticipated, he was confident in the government's direction. "When I look at what it was I wanted to achieve in the first 100 days and ask myself, have we done what I wanted us to do, what I planned for us to do? The answer is yes," Starmer said. However, his critics, both inside and outside his party, remain unconvinced. The perception of Labour's honeymoon period coming to an abrupt end has left many questioning whether Starmer can maintain the momentum needed to deliver on his ambitious reform agenda. A particularly damaging episode occurred when Starmer was forced to publicly rebuke his own Transport Secretary, Louise Haigh, after she made controversial comments about P&O ferries. Haigh had described the company as cowboy operators and encouraged a boycott, a move that threatened to derail key investment opportunities in the UK. P&O's parent company, DP World, reportedly postponed a major investment announcement in light of Hay's remarks, prompting immediate backlash from within Labour's pro-business wing. Starmer quickly distanced himself from Hay's comments, stating, "That's not the view of the government, but the damage was already done." The incident not only strained relations with a major investor, but also highlighted tensions within the party about its pro-business stance, which Starmer has worked hard to cultivate. For many observers, the Haigh incident was emblematic of a deeper issue within Starmer's leadership, an inability to control the narrative and present a united front. This was the first time Starmer had publicly clashed with a cabinet minister, and it exposed rifts in Labour's strategy. Senior figures within the party were reportedly furious at the timing of Hay's remarks, which came just as the government was trying to present itself as economically competent and investor-friendly. The controversy also came at a particularly sensitive time, as Labour prepared to host a major investment summit aimed at convincing global businesses to back the UK's post-Brexit economy. Starmer insisted that conversations with DP World were ongoing, but the fallout from Hay's comments cast a shadow over the summit. Despite these challenges, Starmer has tried to project confidence about the UK's economic prospects under his leadership. He has repeatedly emphasised that Labour is working to restore business confidence after years of political instability under the Conservatives. Prime Ministers were changing frequently. Ministers were changing frequently. There was no clarity of strategy, Starmer said, claiming that the lack of confidence during the Tory years had driven investors away. Whether his government can now reverse that trend remains to be seen. On a more personal level, Starmer has spoken candidly about the toll that the job has taken on his family life. Living in the flat above 10 Downing Street, the Prime Minister described the experience as odd, particularly the constant presence of armed guards and the lack of privacy. Starmer admitted that he sees less of his family than he would like, a difficult adjustment for a man known for his commitment to his wife and children. However, he did share one heartwarming detail. His children now visit him in his Downing Street office after school, a small but meaningful change in his daily routine. When our children come back from school about 4-ish, they pop down to my office in Downing Street, and if I'm around, I can see them for 5 or 10 minutes. That would never have happened before, he said. But while Starmer may be finding small personal comforts in his new role, the political landscape remains unforgiving. His decision to cut winter fuel payments has sparked anger within his own party, with many Labour MPs deeply uncomfortable with the policy. MP Rosie Duffield, a vocal critic of Labour's stance on gender politics, recently resigned the whip, citing broader concerns about Starmer's leadership. Duffield's resignation letter was scathing, accusing the party of betraying its core principles and alienating its voter base. Her departure highlighted a growing divide within Labour as MPs struggled to reconcile the party's progressive agenda with the concerns of more traditional voters. The opposition has not missed the opportunity to exploit these divisions. Conservative leadership hopeful Kemi Badenoch took aim at Starmer during a fiery Commons session, sarcastically congratulating Labour on reaching 100 days in power while taking a swipe at Sue Gray's short-lived tenure. "Not everybody gets to 100 days. Sue Gray didn't," Badenoch quipped, to laughter from the Tory benches. Her comments reflected a broader sense of unease about Starmer's leadership, with many questioning whether he has the political experience to navigate the complexities of governing. Adding to the chorus of criticism, actor and comedian Stephen Fry recently blasted the Labour government as a mess during an interview with LBC. Fry, a long-time Labour supporter, expressed disbelief at how quickly the party had descended into infighting and chaos after their election victory. "You'd think Labour would be more organised after years in opposition," Fry said, echoing the frustrations of many who expected more from Starmer's government. Despite these setbacks, Starmer is pressing ahead with his agenda. One of his key priorities in the coming months will be tackling the NHS crisis, particularly the issue of soaring waiting lists. He has hinted at major announcements in the upcoming autumn budget, which Chancellor Rachel Reeves is set to deliver. The NHS remains one of the most pressing issues facing his government, and how Starmer handles it could define his legacy as Prime Minister. As Starmer marks his first 100 days in office, the question remains, is he the right leader to guide the country through its current challenges, or will the weight of scandal, infighting and controversy prove too much for his government to bear? With internal tensions mounting and the opposition circling, Starmer's next steps will be crucial in determining whether Labour can maintain its hold on power or if the cracks in his leadership will continue to widen.